And SMEs provide
employment. I mean, like I said, 60 million people are employed by SMEs in Nigeria, not the multinational corporations, not government. SMEs, small businesses, the person doing photocopy business, the person with a fashion, retail, Nollywood.
Yes.
Those are all SME outlets. We're trying to bring the leather industry back now. Agriculture is beginning to thrive again with the whole cassava business and rice production in Nigeria and everything. So really, this is where people will get jobs from. So these are places we really need to look at to provide funding, which is why they had to bring BOI into play in 2001. And
so BOI, do you think they're playing that role that these other banks during the golden years were not able to play? And what is the issue? What is the way forward with the BOI?
Well, I would give BOI a pass mark because for what it's worth, that's the only bank right now in Nigeria that's focused on SMEs. SMEs can't really access credit from commercial banks because of the interest rate. It's yes. Crazy. BOI's loan facilities highest 5%, which is really.
But are these loans easy for the everyday entrepreneur to access, or do they come with a long list of things, collateral, the same issues you would face with a retail bank?
No. I mean, the operations are very different. From what I know of BOI, the conditions aren't as stringent. You don't need to bring your great-grandparents' marriage certificate for you to be able to get a loan. We just need to establish that you have a business or an idea, and this is how you plan to spend the money, because that is very important.
So you're saying that it's easy to access.
It's far easier than commercial banks.
So if it's easier to access and entrepreneurs can lay, a hold of this cash to fund their businesses, then why are SMEs still not thriving? Is the BOI enough, or is there something else the BOI needs to be doing?
Well, SMEs are not thriving enough in Nigeria right now, but there has been a drastic improvement in the last 10 to 5 years. I mean, from 2011 to between 2011 and 2014, the number of SMEs in Nigeria more than doubled. We used to have like 17 million people.
Is there a direct correlation with the Bank of Industry's role?
Because access to credit as a problem has to a large extent been solved by the presence of BOI. You have the Nollywood grant, which people like Kunle Afolayan have been able to access. You can imagine Kunle Afolayan being able to access a certain amount of money to shoot
the cinemas that were being built.
Yeah, which means you employ people to shoot the film, directors, actors, and everyone, and then it goes to the cinema, and then the cinema also pulls crowd, and then they are also able. So there's a ripple effect.
So if the Bank of Industry has passed, in your own words, you said the pass mark, and people are now able to access credit, and there's been a doubling of the number of SMEs we have, then why is there a threat to the end of the BOI? If something is good, why stop it?
That's how we operate in Nigeria most of the time. We fix what's not broken, and then leave what's broken unfixed. What I understand the Nigerian Senate is trying to do is to scrap BOI, create another bank.
What would that other bank do that BOI is not currently doing?
Okay, so that other bank is the scope is supposed to be larger. It's supposed to provide higher level credit to people who are into industrial manufacturing and all that.
So maybe it's just an upgrade of the BOI and not totally total replacement.
Now that means the young lady who is a graduate and instead of looking for jobs decided to start a fashion retail outlet will be competing, and who just probably needs a million or two, a million naira or two from the 1 billion fashion fund that BOI has, will be competing with someone who needs 500 million or 1 billion. That creates a problem, because now you'd be tempted to focus on the big boys because they tell you they are going to employ 1,000 people. Meanwhile, all you need to do is leave BOI to fund these small young entrepreneurs who are employing 2-3 people, and then provide access to as many as 1,000 of them, and you have employed as much or more than double what the big boys. Yeah, I mean, it's fine if we want to fund industrial manufacturers and all that in Nigeria. We really, really can attend to that if government has the money for that, but not at the expense of people who, for a long time, have been left without access to credit and now have a way to get money for their
basically,
businesses.
Even if there's going to be an expansion, the BOI should remain to be able to service entrepreneurs like that. But a quick question, how can SMEs make our economy stronger and reduce unemployment?
How can SMEs make our economy stronger?
And also to reduce our overdependence on oil, because that can sustain the economy.
Well, it's all related. So right now we have oil as major cash cow. Not much money is coming in from there again, and then we are we are over reliant on import. So we are having to bring in a whole lot of the things we use and need in Nigeria. With SMEs, we can start producing a whole lot. I mean, take the rice production, for example, with, I think there's a 16 billion Naira BOI fund for people who want to go into rice farming. Imagine we stop importing rice from Thailand and all these other places who give us second-hand rice anyway, and then we start producing not just enough to feed Nigerians,
but to actually export
to also export.
Forex.
So we are not depending on how many barrels of oil government is going to get from the Niger Delta this month. Instead, we are focusing on the rice farmer in 10 different states who are bringing their rice together, and then they are sending it to countries that need it, and then they are bringing money into our own economy. In the process, they are going to employ people. Now, they are farmers. They plant rice, they harvest, and then along the line, you need people who go into packaging rice, people who market, who distribute. So along the line, you are creating jobs, warehousing, you are creating jobs.
So the value chain of SMEs would allow for
employment and then
earning of foreign
revenue for Nigeria.
Thank you so much for your contribution, and hopefully we'll expect the best, because as you say, the SMEs are the lifeblood of the society and the economy, especially Nigeria. The show will continue after this break. Stay with us.
Well, just say let's dance now, it is my turn. Just walk